as a software engineer, you can't do a lot of harm, even if you screw up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to build something. And another thing was like, you don't need to spend money. Like a lot of students that come to me, they are like, uh, they have an excuse that I will have to spend 25K for this course, 50K for that
Yeah.
course. So I say them that like, go to this website, you can learn it for free, and
Mm-hmm.
once you are done, you can build something, and that's all. That's all you need to get a job.
So I want to touch on your story now. Like you got 93.5%, if I'm not wrong, in your 12th,
Yeah,
and you were a part of
12.
debate team. You were a part of, like, you were very active in school. So if I am, let's talk about Avi, who was in 12th, 17 years, 18 years old Avi, who was in 12th. What were you like? Like, were you like really studious kind of person, or were you that kind of people who just got marks like because without a lot of efforts? What kind of person were you? Like really studying all the time, or what?
So I don't think I was studious, because when I was in 12th, I was basically doing 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then after
Mm-hmm.
that, I did all the schoolwork, like doing some maths for JEE or
Mm-hmm.
physics or chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, I was not very studious,
Mm-hmm.
but I had good friends, and like they helped me, they gave me notes and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
got a decent marks in 12th class. But
Okay, you took
yeah,
tuitions, institutes,
so
something like that.
no, no tuitions.
No tuitions.
No,
So
no.
no JE
So
preparation institutes.
I actually didn't like, yeah, no JEE preparation institutes. But I think I bought some books that the JEE teachers recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember the book author's name, like S.C. Verma and all that. K.C. Sinha.
Yeah. All right. So you were not that studious. Like you were okay. And were you like, do you have a vision? Did you have a vision about yourself, like, becoming a software engineer or something like that? You had a very good interest in computers. Like, how was that area?
Yeah. So I think the only vision I had was that I can't do anything except software engineering, because
Mm.
I really like the process of building software and sharing it with people and getting feedback and working on improving
So were you
software.
already doing it back then?
So once, yeah, I started doing it in 2013 of January, like January 2013. So
Mm.
basically, when my 11th was about to end and 12th was about to start. And like in 12th class, I realized I don't want to do anything else. So
Mm.
when I filled my JEE mains forms, I only submitted computer science
Mm.
branches in different colleges. I didn't submit civil engineering or mechanical or anything else. So that was my only vision.
So that was the only thing that you were doing extra apart from school stuff. If I can, like, buy your own kind of a motivation, and that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah. and
definitely.
and if I take a step back from 11th, were you always involved in computers, or you found your love about computers or programming in 11th itself? Were you a type of kid who was like playing with computers all the time, or like you had a computer or not? Like eh, that
Yeah,
also.
so I was that kind of person who was like playing with computers.
Mhm.
I was always looking on the internet for different kind of softwares that existed,
Mhm.
because I was very like interested in the idea of softwares, because softwares are something that can add value to your normal computer. So suppose
Mhm.
you have a Windows PC, it
Mhm.
does like it behaves like a normal PC, but then you download a software like a download manager that can help you
Mhm.
download files better. Then you
Mhm.
download some editor that helps you edit games. So
Mhm.
all those things very much interested me,
Mhm.
and like so I think I realized that I wanted to also build these things. So when in 2013 I finally got a programming language that I thought was easy to learn, then I got started into building stuff.
Amazing. That's what I recommend, and that's what I did actually. So this you just look around, look in your life what you are actually doing day to day, and what are you actually getting fascinated about. And that's the step
Yeah,
zero of even becoming a software engineer, to see if you're really interested or not. And you'll get to know uh,
Yeah.
even before trying, but I would always recommend trying it at least for 3 more months, just to know
Yeah.
how it is actually. So what made you click with that point when you made software? Like you mentioned, you were always fascinated about the softwares. What are they doing in your computers, and how can they make your life easier? What was that point? Do you remember that point, or do you remember that those points with for some people that you have mentored? I just wanna
Yeah.
give a sense of that thing.
So I think it was like I was very much a fan of a game called Counter-Strike
Me
before
too.
I got into building software.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I noticed that there was a mode called multiplayer game where you can play against bots,
Yes. Yes.
but bots had certain kind of skills, and those skills were mentioned in the txt file
Yeah.
which was in the Counter-Strike install folder.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that if I can just create a GUI that will help me edit that txt file, it would be
Mm-hmm.
quite convenient for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my first project as
Wow.
a software
Wow.
engineer.
Wow.
So so that the way I built it was like extreme googling everything, how to make a GUI, how to make a button, how to do this, how to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
after like three days of hardcore programming, like
Mm-hmm.
programming from early morning to late night, I was finally done, and that was it. And then actually I shared that software that I built on a game sharing website called GameBanana.com.
Mm-hmm.
And from there I got a lot of reviews, like people were saying so good, like very helpful software. And
Mm-hmm.
that boosted my morale even more because
Wow.
now I was building something that was helping other people. So that's a
Mm.
fascinating feeling. And I
Yeah.
think like everyone will know that when they help other people, they really like it. So that made it for me because
Mm.
as a software engineer, you don't need permission to build things. Like if you are civil engineer, then you will have to be in an institute, have a
Yes.
degree, then only you
Yes.
can build things.
Yes.
But as a software engineer, I can build and share it with people, and they really like it. So
Yes. Amazing.
that
And
sealed
also,
it me.
yeah, I mean, I totally get that. You don't need anyone else. You just build stuff,
Yeah,
right? For your own, and if it clicks with other people,
for
then you're bang on, like, right?
it usually clicks with other people
Usually.
because you are not that unique.
Yeah.
Like other
At the
people,
end of the day.
there are like yeah, 10,000 other people like you, even in the most niche of your interests.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. And that has. Are you aware about Ray Dalio?
Raid, are you?
Ray Dalio, like, is a
Yeah, yeah, I have seen one of his videos. I have tried to read one of his books, but I couldn't get
principles.
through. Yeah,
Mhm. Nice. So that actually he mentioned this in that book. Like, we are not everything that is happening right now is a pattern. Like, it has happened before, and that is what I am
yeah,
trying to do in these series of podcasts. Like, like happening. It's what I can learn from you, what they can learn from you. It's gonna be almost the same. Almost the same. uh, After
yeah,
mentoring a lot of people, so this is gonna be an, like, end part of it. After mentoring a lot of people, what is the biggest advice that you have given, like, all the time to people, if someone is listening to this right now? So what is that biggest advice as a mentor, because you have mentored a lot, like, quite a lot.
yeah. Great question. I think the biggest advice was like do things
Mm-hmm.
because as a software engineer, you can't do a lot of harm even if you screw up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to build something. And another thing was like you don't need to spend money. Like a lot of students that come to me, they are like uh, they have an excuse that I will have to spend 25K for this course, 50K for that
Yeah.
course. So I say them that like go to this website, you can learn it for free, and
Mm-hmm.
once you are done, you can build something, and that's all. That's all you need to get a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those two are the big ones.
And for someone who is in the initial days of coding, it applies to everyone, and who wants to escalate. Like, let's say he's already doing a job in and I don't want to take names of the company. So he's doing a job, like, a starting level job, and he wants to escalate in his career. So what would you just say to him?
Yeah, so someone in a similar situation, he reached out to me. And I told him that he needs to first of all create a proof of work. So he was doing some job in some low level company, and if they
Mm-hmm.
want to get in like Google or some Flipkart, Zomato, then maybe the work that he did in a low level company won't be counted. So I told him like build something so that you can have something to show that you are able to program
Mm-hmm.
things, and then get good in data structures and algorithms, because all the big companies use that to vet the candidates. So absolutely you need that, and that's all basically. Have a proof of work, be decent in DS and algo,
Mm-hmm.
and get a job.
And any tips for applying, while applying, you're applying to the jobs while, like, as a starter or as an experienced person in low level company also?
Yeah, so this is a great question, because when I was applying to jobs as a starter, I
Mm-hmm.
did this mistake. But I think yesterday I was scrolling through all my old job applications, and I saw, like, I cringed at the words that I had used.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, one thing I learned was that you don't need to mention junior all the time in your application or cover letter. Like, don't mention, hey sir, I am junior, I please you, like, I want to join your company to learn something. So
Mm-hmm.
people, the companies are not interested in mentoring you, like at a very crude the is that. So
Yeah.
you have to show ability. So I think the better way to apply will be, hi sir, I like JavaScript, I build these things using JavaScript, please
Mm-hmm.
take a look at them. And if you want to, and I apply for your company, please let your company know.
Mm.
Like,
So
so
you're
it's
cutting
much
the
better,
bullshit down.
because now you're showing up. Yeah, you're now showing ability. Like, this is what I can do for you. I can write JavaScript for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you like me or not.
Mm-hmm. Like, that for me boils down to see what the company wants, and if you have that,
Yeah,
just tell them in one sentence, tell what you have done till now in related to that
yeah,
area. And the third step is asking for the opportunity. That's it, simple as that. Don't
yeah.
say, don't make stories, don't
Great.
they don't have time.
Like, don't beg for them for mentorship,
Mm,
turnsave, or things
yeah,
like that.
yeah. uh, and special, and now this is something that I haven't seen, profile, mentoring about, but still, if you want to mentor, like, hey, you have a couple of startups in your back pocket, like, experience of having a couple of startups, co-founder, founder, what would you recommend, or what would be your suggestions after doing those? And if they are still running, were they successful as much as you want them to be, or, like, in that respect? So something about your entrepreneurial journey, if you can just tell it, how did you start, what was your first venture, why did you start, and
It was, in a way, I can say my first venture was a side project I did in school,
mm-hmm.
and but it was a solo project. I was just building it and sharing it on a forum,
Mm-hmm.
and people who liked it would comment or give me some like feedback, like please add this feature, please remove this feature, and so on. And that venture actually generated some revenue in the form
Wow.
of donations. I think
Wow.
I got a total of $150 or so over the next 3 years,
Wow.
like from 2013 to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And these were just random donations. I didn't ask for donations, but I just posted a link, like, if you like this software, please donate. I even donated $110 in one go.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then this was a solo project, and then the next, like, proper startup with multiple people that I started was in college, which was called Any Audio.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a simple website that allowed you to listen to music from YouTube. So the problem with YouTube is that you will have to
Yes.
play video to listen to a music,
Yes.
and if you are on a 2G connection, like we were back in 2017, then it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes will buffer and you don't want it. So our website allowed you to listen to MP3s from all the YouTube sources. But we eventually shut it down because it had some copyright issue. You can't really place ads on that because you're using YouTube's content
Yeah.
without, in a illegal way. So
Yeah.
we shut that down. And then the third one was Hapram. or Go Social, which is currently live. They recently got a funding of $1 million from
Wow.
Anand Mahindra,
Wow.
but that started last year of my college.
Mm-hmm.
But like after like 1 year or so, I realized that it was not for me, but they have been enjoying a lot of success recently, got the funding, so that's still alive and doing well.
Is it a regret in your mind, somewhere around back of your mind? Do you regret that?
No, not really. Like I thought about all the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought like this, literally like this, that
It could
leave
happen.
company today, and
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow someone acquires it for $1 billion. Will I
Mm-hmm.
regret it? And the answer was no. So
Okay.
I thought the absolute worst case.
Can we
Regret.
can I dive a little bit deep into your mind? Like, what were you actually thinking at that point of time when you were exiting? Like, why didn't you want to continue? What was the reason?
So I think that I wanted to do a startup in which I had the domain knowledge. Like, uh, for example, I have the domain knowledge in tech and tech education. So I
Mm-hmm.
would be glad to do a startup in this field. But that startup, in that idea, I didn't have the knowledge in the. So I felt that was less. It was only coding and not deciding on the features and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reason why I switched was I had other plans. I wanted to start another startup in which I had the domain knowledge.
Mm,
So
makes
that's
sense.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. So with that, I wanna like end this podcast over here, and I hope like we will be connecting more in the future. Probably if
Yeah,
this all of this
definitely.
ends and you live in Delhi, so we can just meet somewhere in a common place and
Yeah,
have this recorded like in a real
sure.
time situation where this lag is not there. You're not stuck. I'm not. So thank you so much for being here,
Yeah.
Ravi. This was great, and I'm pretty much sure I learned a lot, and a lot of people are gonna learn a lot. I'm sure.
Thank you, son.
Yeah,
Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
for sure.